Hi everyone, my name is Ajinkya Kulkarni and I am co-founder of Wint Wealth. So people generally invest in two type of asset, FDs and equities. FDs are low risk, low return. Equities are high risk, high return. At Wint Wealth, we are bringing in fixed income products that give you higher return than FDs but are less risky than equities. So these fixed income products were earlier available only to big institutional investors. So even if you wanted to invest, you had to invest minimum of 25 lakh or 50 lakh or above in just one asset. On Wint Wealth platform, you can invest just 10,000 in one asset. Now, these are completely new set of assets for retail investors. So let us understand how they fare in terms of risk and returns compared to the other asset classes that we know. So we have plotted a graph here. On x-axis you have risk, on y-axis you have returns. So on the higher risk side, you have equity mutual fund and stocks. Stocks are riskier than equity mutual fund because they are not diversified, but they have potential to give higher return. On the lower risk side, you have fixed deposits, FDs, debt mutual fund and bonds. So among these three, FDs are lowest risk, but they also give lowest return. Then you have debt mutual funds. They are little riskier than FDs, but they also give little higher return generally. In today's environment, the returns are almost similar. Then you have bonds. Bonds are riskier than debt mutual fund because they are not diversified. And here are Wint Wealth products. So Wint Wealth products are give you higher return than FDs, but are less risky than stocks and equity mutual funds. In fact, they are little less risky than bonds. Now you must be wondering what these instruments are, what these products are. So to understand that, we need to understand three terms. One is NBFC, second is bond, and third is covered bond. So what is an NBFC? NBFC is non-banking financial company. Their main business is to give out loans. So they need RBI license to give out loans. So you must have heard about names like Bajaj Finserv, Muthoot, Manappuram. These are NBFCs. So they give out gold loans, vehicle loans, property loans, in some cases even unsecured loans. So they take money from banks, mutual funds and lend that money at higher interest rate and earn profit. This is where Wint Wealth comes in. So we partner with these NBFCs and help them issue a special type of bond called covered bond. Now before understanding covered bond, let us understand what a bond is. So say NBFC takes money from you and promises you that it will return that money to you after a certain time period, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, with a certain interest rate, 8%, 9%, could be anything. So this arrangement is called bond. Now the obvious question is, what if NBFC is not able to pay back? Or what if the NBFC goes bankrupt? So to reduce this risk, we have covered bond. So in addition to the agreement of bond, NBFC keeps aside some loans as security. Now these loans could be gold loans or vehicle loans. That way, even if the NBFC goes bankrupt, repayments from these loans can be used to repay the investors. So this acts as an additional layer of security on a normal bond and it is called covered bond. So in a nutshell, Wint Wealth partners with the NBFC, helps it issue covered bond and then make those covered bonds available on the Wint Wealth platform so retail investors can invest in those bonds. So before investing, let us understand the risk involved in these covered bonds. First is the liquidity risk. So all these Wint Wealth products have a defined maturity of 18 months to 24 months. You can withdraw your investment even before the maturity as long as there is a buyer to buy your investment. We facilitate this matchmaking process. But if there is no buyer, then you will have to wait till maturity to get your investment back. So our suggestion is to invest in these products with a mindset of holding it till maturity and not consider these products as short-term trading instruments. Now, the biggest risk is of the fraud risk. What if the collateral data is forged? What if the borrower data is forged? So we work with only top-notch NBFCs with proven track record. While onboarding them, we conduct a thorough due diligence on their processes, systems, and their records. We even cross-check the borrower details, the collateral details, and we continue to monitor the NBFC and the portfolio till the maturity of the product. Now we have understood what Wint Wealth does, what are covered bonds, what are the risks involved, and how these risks are mitigated. Now let's look at the assets that are available on the Wint Wealth platform. So there are three assets that we have dealt in. The first asset came in August 2020, which was 100% subscribed, and all the investors got their 100% money back with a 10% yearly return. The second asset came in December 2020. It was gold loan backed portfolio that gave investors 11% yearly return. It is 100% subscribed. And now we came with the third asset last month, Wint Wealth. It gives return of 10.25% per year. And we'll see the details of this asset when we go into view details. Right? So we'll go to see asset details page. So here is a summary. So the pre-tax returns are 10.25%. The asset size is 20 crores. Maturity left is 23 months. So about 2 years. So the cover size is 24 crores. So we have given a loan of 20 crore to the NBFC, and against that we have taken loans worth 24 crores. Now these are all vehicle loans, and the next parameter is vehicle collateral value. So the 24 crore is an outstanding loan, and the underlying vehicles, their market value is 32 crores as of March 2021. And this asset will pay monthly interest in your bank account, and the principal will be paid at the end on maturity. So the instrument is covered bond, and it is rated AA by CARE Ratings. And the NBFC here, the underlying NBFC is Copta Financial. We'll look at the NBFC details shortly. And trustee is Catalyst Trusteeship Limited. Right? So here is a brief understanding. We discuss about covered bond. The NBFC is Copta Financial. Right? So if you want to know about covered bonds, the links are there. Now here are the pool details, like in particular month what are number of loans and what is going to be the collateral value, and these are projected scenarios for every month. Right? Now let's look at the NBFC detail. So NBFC name is Copta Financial. It has a portfolio of 1150 crores, gross NPA of 2.61%, and net NPA is 2.1%. So this is a very important number, net NPA. That means this is going to be the loss on this portfolio. So the loss is going to be around 2.1%, and therefore we have taken 20% additional loan. So almost 10 times extra cover, right? Then NBFC has a rating of A- by CARE, and it has equity investor from IIFL and Morgan Stanley. So these are equity investors of the NBFC, and it has also recently got funding from Axis Debt Mutual Fund. Right? And so there is a trustee involved which takes care of the all accounting. So trustee is SEBI empaneled trustee, Catalyst Trusteeship Limited, and they manage assets worth 850 crores. Right? And then there are bunch of FAQs here. So how to invest, how do I look at this investment, why is price changing daily, if I withdraw before maturity, how will be the returns, right? And what is the taxation? So because the interest is paid monthly, the taxation is you will pay as per your tax slab, right? And this tab discusses about the risk involved. So we talked about fraud risk, liquidity risk. It explains this point in detail. So on the documents page, you can see ISIN and script code. So these bonds are listed on Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. So you can actually check the details on Bombay Stock Exchange website by searching through ISIN and script code. And then there is rating rationale. So if you want to know why CARE has given this AA rating and you want to read the rating rationale in detail, you can click on rating rationale and read it. And then there is information memorandum. So that basically enlists all the agreement detail, agreement nitty-gritties, and so you can go through it, and various clauses are mentioned in the information memorandum. Now on the right side, you will see a column that talks about what is the current lot price, what are your earnings going to be. So if you invest one lot, it is 10,177, and at the with the interest you will get 12,062 rupees with a monthly interest payment and principal at the end, and your post-tax returns will be 11,414. This is assuming you are in 30% tax bracket. So you can also check the payment schedule in detail here, and then you can invest by clicking on the button of invest now. Now it will ask for a phone number, so I am entering my phone number. So it will give me an OTP. I'm just waiting for the OTP. So now I have to fill basic KYC detail. So I'll put in my email ID ajinkya@.com. Then you have to enter 16-digit DMAT ID. Now you can see on the screen. And I'll copy that DMAT ID from my screen. So here is your DMAT ID. Name as per bank account I'm putting. And then put this, my saving account. So I'm submitting this KYC detail. So now it talks about risk in detail so that you are aware of the risk. So you can read through this detail. Here is a name, 4 Degree Private Limited, which is our company name, which is our official company name. Wint Wealth is our brand, and 4 Degree Water is our company name. So please read this through, and then once you read this through, then you can click on risk disclosures, that I understand all the risk mentioned above. Then click submit. So it will ask me for payment. So I can make a payment through UPI or NEFT RTGS. So I'll make a payment through UPI. Now I'm on the payments page. So I'm going to enter my UPI ID here. So I have to pay from my UPI app. So I've gotten a command here, request here for the collection request. And now I'm making that payment. And this payment is already made. Now it is redirecting me back to the website. So yeah, the payment is successful. So generally when you make payment, the units will be transferred to you next day, and the next day you will be able to see them in your DMAT holdings. So in your Zerodha holdings, you will be able to see those see the units. I'm going back to dashboards. So this shows how much money I have invested, what are the active investment. And if I had invested in previous asset, then I would have gotten where how much is the earning, how much is my profit, etc. Right? And you can obviously track these details in your Zerodha kite also. And in general about website, you can see asset details here. There are many questions that you must be having, so you can check the FAQs here, right? General FAQs related to covered bond and how to invest. If you want to know more about these technical terms in detail, or how these products work, how this industry works, then there are resource section where we have talked about what are gold loans, what are trustees, how are these new products, what are MLDs, what are covered bond, right? Why did we start Wint Wealth, right? So this was a brief overview of Wint Wealth. If you have any questions, any doubt, any feedback, feel free to reach out to me or on our WhatsApp number here on the homepage, right? And we'll get back to you. Thank you.